Hey everybody, welcome to your new moon alert for the new moon that's coming up in Leo on August 8th. It's going to be climaxing around 7:50 a.m. Mountain Time in the United States, so wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust that to see when that's going to be happening for you. But it is a very special new moon as it's also the climax of the Lionsgate portal. And that opened around July 28th and is going to close around August 12th. But August 8th is the day that it's like its highest peak of energy. And I feel guided. I'm going to create a separate video by zodiac sign for the Lionsgate, and I'll release those on August 7th. I'm really excited for them. So if you want to make sure you don't miss those, just make sure to subscribe at the bottom there. Click that little bell icon and then you'll get notified when those come out as well. But the portal, it brings in a heightened connection with the higher realms. And then also this new moon in Leo brings in this energy around it of uniting the needs of the individual with the needs of the whole. So some beautiful energy that's going to be coming in, the week before, the day of, and, a couple weeks after up until the next full moon, definitely. So we're going to do a pick a card reading for this video. You can have the chance, you can pick number 1, which is the actual new moon, just a general new moon. Option number 2 is the new moon specifically in Leo. Or option 3, which is actually the full moon in Leo. And we'll talk about why we look at the full moon if you choose that reading. So we're going to go ahead and jump into number 1. If you want to jump to one of these others, the timestamps are in the description box below. So we'll go ahead and start with number 1 now. If you chose reading number 1, which is just the generic new moon, it talks about a new start is coming. And just a heads up, these cards that I use are from this beautiful deck, the Moonology Oracle Cards Guidebook. Not guidebook, but Oracle deck. And what I love about the new moon, it's always about this new start. We plant new seeds and new fertile ground that we have been working on since the last full moon up to this point. Because at the last full moon, we work at what are we removing from our lives. The full moon is like the harvest, so we look at removing the stalks and all the stuff that doesn't rebear fruit. We just remove all that, till the soil, put fertilizer, get it all ready for the new seeds, and this is when we plant those new seeds. So I love the energy of a new moon. It just is like possibilities are endless. Also, if you're looking for an answer of any kind, then a new moon is usually like a yes is coming your way because you're moving into a new cycle, and it's encouraging us to forget the past. The cycle's completed. Now we're ready to invest our energy in this moment of planting seeds and in the energy of the next steps that we're going to be doing and moving forward. And the kind of the theme of a new moon, in essence, is you'll see it when you believe it. Has very much a magician card energy from the tarot, which is all about wherever you focus your energy is what grows. So, when you believe it and you and invest in your energy and toward that direction, that's what grows and unfolds for you there. So that's kind of the energy that's coming in with the new moon. And it does, you start to feel it like a week before the new moon. Of course, on the time of the new moon, it's like Shazam! And then the next 2 weeks until we, the moon starts to grow brighter and brighter until we hit the full moon. That's really about this period that we're looking for, that it's influencing your life journey. Of course, these are always timeless. The creator, the spirit are never bound by time or space. So if your intuition has brought you here, I would trust your gut and listen to it and see what messages are there for you. We're going to pull another card here, and it's going to come from this deck of the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And we're just going to look for a message from the creator for those that chose this new moon for your selection, what the creator wants you to know about this 3-week period that we're looking at. All right, Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 1 to know about this new moon period here? It's a beautiful, powerful new moon. Okay. Yep, and you got the 26, which is surrender. It's waning crescent. Almost looks kind of like a new moon, though, too. And, I mentioned the magician card, and that almost looks like they're looking to heavens here. What the Lion's Gate, which happens actually on August 8th, it's about what we're ready to let go. It has a lot to do with this, related to this goddess Ishtar, is like with the ancient days, and she's all about what you let go of. And it's like after you have this, it's like kind of like a phoenix, after you have these difficult situations that happen in your life, and you feel like a storm came and you're dealing with the rubble that's left behind. It's about everything you learn about having gone through the storm and about what it removes out of your life and what you're ready to surrender for. So it's perfect for this August 8th, and 2 and 6 does add up to 8, which is his card number 26. So definitely, the 8-8 energy is all over this card here. So, of course, this is surrender. It says surrendering doesn't mean giving up. Let go of what you no longer need. Stop being so stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are now. Stop struggling. And the little phrase that comes with this, like the affirmation, is, I let go. I surrender my struggle. I allow the universe to work through me. And it goes on to say, it took me a long time to realize that surrendering was a positive thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean the giving up kind of surrender. I mean okay, it's time for me to hand this over type of surrender. For those of us who are highly independent and used to doing things quite ably on our own, admitting we need assistance or that we might indeed have to let something go for our betterment can be challenging. So letting go and surrendering admits or exposes a vulnerability or two. To surrender, we may need to show our underbelly. We may need to admit we got it wrong, made a mistake, grew a bad habit, surrounded ourselves with people that are not good for us anymore. It can make us feel raw in our realization. So remember, this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It is. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only the divine in ourselves, and then the light returns. I love that. And the companion stone or metal, if you're into the crystals and stones and metals and those things, is orange calcite. So yeah, definitely this is going to be about what are you ready to let go of, and seeing the positive side of that, during this period of time, because all this energy that's coming in is allowing you to see things more clearly, and you balance your individual needs with the needs of the group. Like the Leo, of course, the energy, this is the new moon in Leo, is about balancing, you're the leader of the pride, a pack of lions is called pride, right? And so you take your own pride, individual pride, and you balance it with the needs of the pride, and so it's this beautiful, loving energy that goes in, and it's love for yourself, knowing what boundaries to put down, and what, that balancing that with the love of others, and seeing like, okay, this is what I want for myself, this is what they want. The things that conflict in the middle are the things that you look at with love and see, is it something that matters more important to me, for me, or will the impact be even more beneficial for the group. And that's what you kind of look at and go through with this. The full moon will talk about the conflict that comes, because this energy of the new moon is very flowing, and you're, more fluid, and it's not, the conflict that's happening in you is not it's a more of a internal reflective type of energy, not an external fighting for what you want, and the external world fighting for what they want. And it's this battle going on instead of this reflection and a smooth movement. What we're going to do next, I'm actually going to take 3 different decks of tarot cards. I'm going to pull one card from this Light Series, which is going to be the energy of like what you're coming in with in the first week. And then we're going to pull a card from the Everyday Tarot to see what the impact of the climax of this new moon and Lionsgate energy is bringing you. And then the last card will represent where you end up toward the, following 2 weeks and leading into your journey going forward. So we're going to pick here first from the Light Series, just to see what the Creator wants you to know about the first week, for those of you that chose the generic new moon card for reading number 1. Creator, what do you want our beautiful people to know about their first week for this energy of this new moon and the Lionsgate? Okay. Yeah, so you got the High Priestess. So definitely getting in tune with yourself, digging into your unconscious, digging into the hidden, the unknown, connecting to the higher realms. And definitely the Lionsgate opens up such clarity and energy. The veil is so much thinner as this portal has opened, and it opened on the 28th, I believe. So, you're already fully being influenced by the connection. So definitely the energies that you're dealing with, and that feeling, that almost a drive to be alone, away from all the noise, so that you can connect more deeply and higher, is like the first week. So if you do feel that, honor that and give yourself that, like we said, the boundaries that you set for yourself, and going, you know what, I'm going to take some time for me and get to know and connect with my higher, the higher realms, with the Creator, Holy Spirit, whatever your faith is, your guardian angels and your spirit guides, your loved ones who have already gone to the other side, your ancestors who were here before you. I always say, unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe in the higher realms offer. It's these beings of unconditional love and light. You have such a strong connection and ability to connect during this first week coming up onto the actual new moon day in the portal, when it's at its most energy. And then we're going to take a look here and see on the new moon day just what the Creator wants you to know about what happens actually on August 8th. What influences does the new moon energy, the portal energy, what's it all doing? I imagine with all this connection, you might have some epiphanies and some very deep clarity on life, but we'll see. Creator, what do you want those to know that chose reading number 1 to know about what happens actually on August 8th? Okay, I feel like this one, I'm actually going to have 2 there, so that one and that one. Any others? Okay, and last pass. Okay, that is it for those. And we got the Page of Cups, so definitely, communicating with the fish. It's like Aquaman, you're able to talk to the deep waters, and Page of Cups really for me represents moving to a higher level of communication. So those of you that already have a regular contact, it's just on this day, it's just like blown out of the water, literally the water, emotional energy. The cups is all about the emotions, so you definitely are feeling different emotions than you have before. I kind of look at the Ace of Cups as like this brand new spark of energy coming, and the page more of like it's something that you've had before and it's moving to another level of it. Also, a page kind of represents a child in a way, so it's that emotional feeling, that freedom that young children have just to express their emotions, express who they are, and they usually still have a very deep connection with the other side until they're taught to suppress it through our have-tos and shoulds and supposed-tos and needs-tos and all that, rules and regulations and all the external world draws us out, from that connection. So it's about returning to that the pre-conditioning kind of feeling, emotion of your life as well. Yep, and you've got justice here. So yeah, justice is really about balance, of course. And so balancing, I always look at this as the higher self and the earthly self too. So it's definitely about not getting so pulled into the heavens that we're no earthly good, and also being too drawn out into the storm of fear that we have no heavenly connection and we feel lost and hopeless. So this really is bringing in this balance between seeing the storm, but not being the storm. And you can even be out in the storm, but no longer feeling like you're a part of it. It's like being in the eye of the storm, usually. It's like this beautiful, just balancing state of being. And she holds the sword, which is really about, the sword energy is the air energy. It's your minds, your thoughts, your belief, your mindsets, your attitudes. And so it also shows that in this justice, that you get to determine what anything means about you as well. So whatever's going on August 8th, you're able to see it from different perspectives and choose. Do you want it to be an extreme of fear or an extreme of unconditional love or something in between? And you get to decide. There's no wrong answer because it's your life, your journey, and you get to decide what that means. So it's beautiful. I really love the feeling of balance and that we don't feel we have to destroy our ego, because it is a part of us. It's this representation that we chose to become so that we could experience and walk upon this earth and experience all the opposites of what we really are. Something else the moon phases teach us is that there's a dark side and a light side, and everything has its purpose and its phase. There's a time to experience everything. And in experiencing like sadness, we understand more fully what happiness is. To experience chaos, we understand more fully what peace is and feels like. And so everything has its purpose and its timing, like I think the Bible says, for everything there is a season under the sun. And so there is a time for everything to experience it. And the justice does have this judgment feel about it, of course, but we're the ones that get to judge what it means, our power of choice and our free will to determine what anything in our life means. So just this beautiful awareness that comes on August 8th. And we'll pick a card here or see what else comes out for what the following 2 weeks after this until the next full moon is, and what that kind of energy is that you take with you. And for that, we're going to take the Rider-Waite Tarot. Right, Creator, what else do you want our lovely number ones to know? Okay, anything else? Okay, last pass. Any other cards, please? Yep. This will be it. Yep, any of the Nine of Pentacles. And this is a lovely card because Pentacles is all about the external world and our experience here. Walking upon the earth, and this is like the wish fulfillment card. She is alone in the garden, has her ringed creature there, which our beautiful winged. For me that always represents our connection to our higher posse and support team on the other side. And so they are with us, but we're alone. We're feeling fulfilled being by ourselves and not feeling lonely and feeling abundant. So, that energy definitely allows you to feel like you have everything that you need right here, right now, in the physical world, in your inner world. It just has this overall fulfilled feeling, which definitely this energy is bringing for us. And then lastly, what I'm going to do, just for your final message, I'm going to pull some cards here from these Sweet Dreams cards, because around a new moon, you might be having some dreams, but this is all about your life, and with the Creator's final message for you that chose reading number 1 to know there. So any others? Okay. Oh, well. Okay. Those and those. So you get 4. All right. So your first one is experience. So my dreams take me to wonderful places that are filled with wonder, delights, and joy. And I really feel like this is your, like I said, your earthly experience that you, come down here to experience. Your dreams are fulfilled. And there's a great message that comes with, no moment is ever wasted. We come down here to experience this life, and we experience every second of every day. So you are right on track always. No matter what you're feeling and what you're going through, you're experiencing this life, these emotions, whether they're uncomfortable emotions at the time. When we see that we came here to experience that on purpose, then we kind of convert it to where we feel like this isn't happening to me, this is happening for me to experience that. I'm like, why am I going around in circles? And it's like, well, you got on the merry-go-round. Oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I got on here because I wanted to experience what that felt like. All right. And then you got transformation. With the help of my dreams, I'm ready to make changes towards a new me. And definitely, I'm going to put this one up here because this really has to do with the Lion's Gate. The transformation piece is what you're ready to let go and what you're ready to transform into. So this is the beginning of those awarenesses of what you're ready to let go. And that makes space for these new seeds that you're going to be planting. And manifest. My dreams help me to manifest all that I need. Yeah, definitely. In the beginning of the intro, I mentioned that this Lionsgate energy is very much about the Magician card, who's the manifester, and it's your ability to connect to the higher realms and to bring that beautiful energy to this earth as well. Not only experiencing this giant amusement park of fear, but becoming aware of your higher self and connecting and walking that, as you experience it. So we can feel emotions and not act on them. And if we're, have this hunger and thirst for love, and our higher self and the higher realms bring us that love, we can hold hands as we walk through this amusement park and ride the rides and whatever, feeling loved and supported and seeing life from a whole different perspective. We wanted to experience what it might feel like to be alone and abandoned and betrayed and, all those emotions. But we can have this new phase in our life. And this portal, I really feel, is opening that for you, where, you're questioning the beliefs that no longer serve you and letting those go, this whole surrender, and you're moving into this new awareness and this new place. And then you have connect. I create strong emotional connections with the important people in my life. And this ends up under this High Priestess card. So, the important people in your life during this phase for this reading is definitely that beautiful, beautiful, large group of support you have on the other side. All these invisible beings of unconditional love and light. The veil is very thin during this period of time because of that Lion's portal. It runs from, I think it's like July. It was July 28th this year, up until I think August 12th. I do go into more detail on that in the Lionsgate readings that are going to come out. So if you don't want to miss those, like I mentioned before, just make sure to subscribe, click that little bell icon, and you'll get notified when those come out. They should come out around August 7th. So keep an eye out for that. And just know as you go through this 3-week period around this new moon in Lionsgate that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. We'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your journey. Take care. And if you chose reading number 2, which is the new moon in Leo, then this is the reading for you. And it says, confidence is your key to success. And these cards that I use, in case you're interested in those, is this Moonology Oracle deck. So I just want to make sure people know these because these are beautiful cards. They have great information in them. So, the new moon in Leo, new moons, of course, this is new cycles, and with this, of course, new confidence comes. And to really feel the energy around this is because you have this new awareness of who you really are. And so there's like this message of being proud of who you are and not focusing on all those self-judgments of who you think you aren't. And there's like this push to go realize your true identity as the king or queen of the jungle. And along with that, it's making sure you shine your light. Don't dim yourself. There's this beautiful balance between your understanding your individual needs along with the needs of the whole. So there's not this battle between it. You have your boundaries, you understand what you need, you understand what other people need or what your perception is that they need. And sometimes there's conflict or they're wanting something that you don't want to give up. And then that's where you, in a loving way, look at what you want to give or not there. And so, that's kind of the energy that comes with this. And then there's this beautiful energy, too, about making time for fun. That spark that you have within you during this time. Leo brings a lot of fire energy, and it's like, yes, get out of your norm and have some fun. Why are you being so serious? Have fun as well. So we're also going to pull a card here from these amazing Queen of Moon Oracle. And that is just going to be what the Creator wants you to know about this 3-week period. Usually about the week before the full moon, the day of, and a couple weeks after till the next full moon. This is the energies that are going to be interacting with you. And so we're just going to ask the Creator what they want you to know overall for that 3-week period. So give these a good shuffle. All right, Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 2 to know about the 3-week period? And of course, the Creator is not bound by time or space or spirit. So if you've come across this outside of this actual full moon in the time frame, just know that trust your gut. If you were brought here outside of that period of time this is talking about, I would still listen to it because I'm probably can almost guarantee there's going to be messages there for you if you are trusting your intuition. So hoping you got fruition. And this is card number 37. And so I love just the little fruitful hat. There's even birds and everything else in there. So the feeling that you have through this is a feeling of wholeness and completeness, that things that you've been working on, this energy of the Lionsgate and the new moon is the things that you've cleared away, and you're coming into your having harvested and ready for a new harvest. So you're looking back, seeing the accomplishments you've had. Those were the past, and so you're ready to move on to new things and plant new seeds during this new moon phase of the cycle here. So all those things, and a message of 37 adds up to 10, which is endings and new beginnings. So you've come full circle. From the last new moon, you've planted things, came to a full moon, which is the harvest. The things that you removed out of your life, you're ready for the new. So you're still basking in the fruits of your last success, your last fulfillment that you had. And now it's like, okay, what's next? What are we going to go to next? I'm also going to read from the book here, of course, and see what additional messages come with that. So it is the harvest moon. And as the seasons turn, there's always a time when all the potential of the spring beginnings is manifest. The crops grow tall and are ready to harvest, and they've done this from a fallow field into which we've planted seeds. The trees have flowered, and now there's fruit to pick. It's time for the harvest. And the affirmation for this card is, I welcome the joyous fruition of all the intentions I set. And it goes on to say, when we're able to bring something to fruition, whether it be planting a project or a change in ourselves, it's the perfect time to celebrate all that we're grateful for and to mark our achievement. We may have worked very hard to bring this new situation into reality. We may have been patient in the way we have worked over time and sacrificed much to make it happen. So the harvest moon is the time to be happy about our success and to share it with others. Our ancestors would dance and sing and have community festivals of thanks, all to celebrate the fruition of all that hard work and to thank the gods for their assistance. So these times of high energy are also times to really focus on your body, as they can be quite taxing on our systems. If we don't take care, it is often the time we can get ill. So this moon normally falls on the moon closest to the autumn equinox in the northern hemisphere, which is very funny because I mentioned at the beginning that I'm going to do separate readings for the Lion's Gate for each of the zodiac signs, but I'm also have in my scope to do autumn readings for the month of September, which is about what is gonna be falling away in our life. So Lion's Gate is about what we're surrendering. The autumn equinox ones are going to be about what's falling away, and so this definitely, I feel like mentioning that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, if you don't want to miss these readings coming up, because I feel that they have a special meaning for you because of how it is called out here in this specific card. So do that and then just hit the alarm button, and that way you'll get notified when they come out here. On the companion stone or metal for this is garnet. So, but I just really love that this is about gratitude and thankfulness for what you do have. Focusing all that energy on, all your energy into that. And then that opens you up to how are you going to share that with the world during this 3-week period? And what new fruits do you want to plant? What new seeds do you want to plant for the new fruits that you want to have coming up? So definitely, I love the emphasis on celebrating your fruits, not just having it be another step so you can think about the next step, so that you can think about the next step, so you can think about the next step, not celebrating along the way, and then you just feel exhausted because you feel you can only celebrate when you get to the end, not all along the way. So it's very much have these celebrations. All right, next what we're going to do, I'm going to use 3 different tarot decks, and the first deck I'm going to use is the Light Seers Tarot, and this is going to represent like what energy you're coming in with and experiencing the first week before the new moon on August 8th. So let's see what the Creator wants you to know about those energies. Creator, what else do you want all those that chose reading number 2 to know about their first week, please? Okay, 3. Wow. Well, you're being fruitful, of course. So, boom. Yep. So 9 of Swords. This is the stuff that has been keeping you up at night. Excuse me, those thoughts and beliefs. They give you nightmares that are just flocking around your head. And I really feel this is the stuff that you've been letting go a lot. You have this white bird coming in here, which is the new thoughts, the new beliefs. The 10 of Swords is usually to the point of exhaustion, where you feel like, I just can't do this anymore. So all these expectations that you have felt that you need to meet are very disappointing. And it's kind of like the celebration thing too. When we are trying to meet all the needs of the outside world, all those supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and have to's, if it's not really what our passion is, then when we meet those things, they feel empty. They feel disappointing. It's like, where's the happiness and fulfillment I was supposed to feel when I hit that goal, or, finally got married, or finally got a house or the car I wanted? And he was like, you know what? I thought this was going to feel so much more. And so this card is indicating, the awareness of all that. And this could be a lot, and this is a general reading, so a lot of you, it is about, you've got this fruit and you've got these things, but they're feeling empty. And like I said, it's not making you feel as whole as you thought it would. And so as you're going into this new cycle, it's really about looking at, well, what do I really want? What makes my heart sing? What is my true desire? Because we can get caught into that, trap of, well, if making $100,000 a year didn't make me feel whole, then maybe I need $200,000 a year. And so you exhaust yourself trying to get that, and you get it, and you still, don't feel well. And then it's like it's starting to make you ill, like it's saying, because you're just investing so much of yourself that you're not taking care of you for the sake of fulfillment. And like, well, maybe 300,000 will make me feel that way. And then, you keep going, and then you spend, all of that and more on your health because, it just made you feel fearful. If I don't, hit these goals, I won't feel complete, right? Let's go on here too. Okay, so 8 of Wands. So definitely new energy coming in for you. And it is the 8. So on the 8th, which we'll talk about in a sec, this is just saying you're getting all this amazing energy coming from the outside, and it's going to come out of nowhere. And I really feel like this is that new spark when you realize, yeah, those things that I thought were going to fulfill me didn't. I'm going to find out what makes my heart sing, what does give me that spark. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to get out of bed and do things, instead of, I got to get up again. This is going to be that change when you really look at that fruition there. Yeah, here we go. And then you have the 4 of Wands, which is literally celebrating, things along the way. So making sure, definitely celebrating everything that's in your life. And that one of the things that brings in a lot of beautiful energy into our lives is when we focus on gratitude and thankful for what we do have in our life. Like we talked about, not focusing on what we're not or what's not in our life, because that energy just grows, instead of focusing in on what you do want in your life and what you're thankful is in your life. Then that grows as well. Let's take a look here and see what the Creator wants you to know about actually happening on August 8th. What type of energies you deal with, or just what kind of information they want you to know about that amazing climax of both the Lionsgate energy and that new moon energy too. So Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 2 to know about August 8th? Okay. And that needs 2 as well. And you got the Lover's card here, which is an amazing card to get for that date, because this is about Not, people can read this as, oh, you're going to meet someone, the love of your life. But for me, it's really, this is your higher self. This is your ego that splits off into man or woman for the experience of feeling separate and seeking external love. But this is our higher self, which is really the source that gives us the love we're looking for. But there's another thing about this card that just fits totally into this energy we're talking about leading up to it. In the story of the Major Arcana with the Lovers is one of the first times we become brave enough to go against all the shoulds and supposed to's and needs to's and have to's is when we have our first crush, when all those emotions start building up within us of love, and we're like, I'll do anything for love. I'll break my curfew. I'll do the things I'm not supposed to do because I'm in love. And it's the first time like we will rebel against our parents, and we get that bravery. And so I really feel like this new passion that you discover here about what really makes your heart sing. It's like I'm willing to go against the norm and the supposed to and the should, because that wasn't really fulfilling me and making me whole. I'm ready for something new. Yeah, and then you have the Seven of Cups. So this is all about so many choices. Cups are emotions, and so many feelings, so many emotions. What do I really want to feel? What do I really want to experience? And our life will always be this when we have human form, because we have so many emotions that we experience as these humans on this planet, and it's what we came here to experience. So, there's no wrong choice, is the message that is coming up in here, because you're going to experience what you want to experience. So don't beat yourself up for choices, for feelings that you're feeling. Feel them, flow through them. And if that's not what you want to feel anymore, you make a different choice. You make a different external choice, you make a different internal choice. And those things just flow in and out of your life. So, the fruits of our labor, we decide if that's what we wanted. If you grow an apple tree in the backyard and you're like, what? I've been eating apples, apple cider, apple pie, apple crisps, putting apple in my oatmeal, caramel apples. You're like, I'm tired of apples. I'm ready for something new, right? And that's a new choice. The apples did what they were going to do for our experience, and now you're ready for a different type there as well. Yep. And then you got the Page of Wands, which is about new energies, new excitement. And what I love about the pages too is they have that childlike energy that comes with it. Before you're told and convinced about limitations, little children think that I'm going to be an astronaut. Any possibility is out there. They don't feel restricted. They see that anything is possible, instead of, oh, that's not probable. You can never do that. Burp, burp, burp. All this stuff just gets put upon us, all those should and supposed to's and need to's and have to's. And so this is about returning to this energy like anything is possible. And if I'm not living, I'm just existing. I'm ready to live. And so this energy on August 8th, just with all the stuff that's leading up to it, just really there's this great spark and awareness of, what? I'm ready. I'm tired. Sick and tired of doing things the old way, because when I do what I always did, I get what I always got. I'm ready for something new. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Rider-Waite. This is the Everyday Tarot, and that's the Light Seers deck, in case I didn't mention that if you're interested in any of these cards. But this, we're going to represent what then culminates over the next 2 weeks and takes you into the next full moon that would be coming up. So let's see what your message is from the creator for that. But I do love this because you are ready for those things to end. And you never let go of things you're not ready to let go of. If you're fearing letting go of something, until the ugly feeling of holding on to something overshadows your fears, you generally don't make the movement to let go of it. It's only when you're holding that hot potato and it starts to grow mold and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to let go. But if you're like, what if I let go of the potato and I don't get another potato? It's like, you know what, this moldy, gross, smelly old potato, we're letting go. I'm not sure why hot potato was the message, but there you go. All right, Creator, what's your final message? Well, not final message, but what you want our number 2 pile to know about their last 2-week energy. Okay. And anything else? Yep, so 8 of Cups. And this is all about what you're ready to leave behind. The cups, again, are the emotions, all these things that you've been feeling that haven't fulfilled you, and you're walking away from it. You're ready to let it go because it no longer serves you. So, yep, you definitely have identified what you no longer want to feel, and you're leaving that and moving on. And again, 8, month of August, there. Yep, and you got the star. So really, the star is about hope, and you have all these beautiful other stars that have joined. That's your support. This represents the Aquarian, which is, the water bearers. And what they bring in these vessels is the living water. This brings you the gift, this brightness that shows you what have you really been thirsting for. All those things that haven't quenched your thirst. This is the star that brings you that light and guidance to bring you to those things that are fulfilling, because they're both on land and in water. They're pouring that emotional fulfillment into your emotional waters and also onto the land, which is your physical world, your mental world. So it just brings you that fulfilling feeling into there. So some new hope, some new guidance, a bright star to guide you on your journey. It's that discovering what truly makes your heart sing, what truly brings you that joy. And something that comes with that, if you're unsure of what that is, one of the things that helped me is just asking, how do I want to uniquely bring the unconditional love that's inside me out into the world? Because that is what is fulfilling. What only fulfilled me in my life is connecting to that unconditional love from the other side. That's what we're hungering and thirsting after. And so when we get that filled up, then we fill up and it flows out to the world. And what brings us that fulfillment in our career or whatever our occupation, whatever we're going to do in our lives, is how do I give that love to the world in my way? Not the supposed to, the should, the need to, the have to, all those opinions from the outside, but how do I uniquely want to give it to the world? So I really feel that for you too. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card or two from these Sweet Dreams little cards to see what the final message the Creator has for you that chose pile number 2. Okay. What else? Okay. Okay. So your first card was Lessons. I look for opportunity in life's challenges via my dreams, and I learn the lesson. So I've got your little star support up here. So we're going to put those because they look exactly like that. And it's just realizing, like I said, one of the biggest lessons we learn is when I try to fulfill everyone's expectations outside of me, it leaves me feeling empty. And when I do what I always did, I get what I always got. And I don't want that anymore, because when we start off on this journey, sometimes we'll be like, well, I like that security, at least, even though I felt like I was just existing, at least I didn't fear that I was going to not live. But this lesson teaches us and shows us those feelings of like, oh, I do not want to go back to waking up in the morning feeling dread. I want to wake up feeling excitement, even if that includes facing these fears of lack, fears of failing, or whatever it might be. We realize when you're going after your dreams, you can never fail. You might have a little speed bump here and there. You might fall on your face here and there, but that's all part of the excitement of living your dream. instead of, just existing and living, fulfilling other people's dreams and not your own. Yep, and you got abundance. No kidding. I am blessed with and thankful for the abundance in my life. So fruition, definitely about this abundance that's coming in, that has come into your life, and changing that whole perspective of focusing on what you are grateful for in your life as well. And then you've got intuition. Through my subconscious, I trust my inner wisdom and intuition. So yeah, definitely not going by your mind in the outside world. It's really connecting with your heart to understand what it is you truly want. And if you're unsure, again, like I mentioned on, that question of asking yourself, what makes your heart sing? How do you want to express your unconditional love to the world? And if you want to ask for, signs and answers and indications, that type of thing, connecting to your higher source, they have that higher point of view outside of time and space where they can see the whole stuff. And there are things that you told them you didn't want to know when you came down here for the excitement of the unknown. But while you're here, you can definitely ask them for their input and for their answers. You just need to get into a quiet place, take some deep breaths, step away from all the noise and the fear noise out there, raise your love vibration up by focusing on unconditional love, joy, laughter, and peace, and you'll be able to hear more clearly and see more clearly the signs that they will inundate your life with. There'll be very obvious answers for you. So I love this awareness that's going to come around here about fruitfulness in your life during this time. And just know as you're going throughout this 3-week period that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. Have an amazing new moon Lion Gate. And don't forget that I'm going to put out some Lionsgate specific readings by zodiac sign around August 7th. There's also going to be that, those other readings for the fall equinox that related to all this. So just make sure to subscribe and hit that little alarm button and you'll get notified when those come out. So until then, enjoy the journey and I will talk to you soon. You take care. And if you chose reading number 3, which is the full moon in Leo, then this is the reading for you. And it says, don't let pride get in your way. And we'll talk about all that here in a second. Just to let you know, these cards that I use, they're from this deck, the Moonology Oracle card deck. It's just a great deck. It has great information in the book, too, about all the moon phases. But for the full moon in Leo, what we do is we look at, the phases of the moon. And generally, like this new moon in Leo is the culmination, like the transitional point for whatever you started to deal with in the full moon in Leo. So it's like the new moon in Leo before you get to the full moon in Leo, and then about 6 months later you go back into a new moon in Leo, and it kind of 5 or 6 month cycles, kind of like that. And for the last full moon that we had this year actually in Leo was January 28th. The next one we'll have after this new moon coming up is going to be February 16th. So you can kind of see how it fluctuates a little bit. But whatever seeds you plant around the energy of this new moon in Leo is kind of what starts working and growing. It's almost like you have these 12 gardens that are growing. Each of the moons is in a different sign. So whatever you're tending in the gardens, are all happening at the same time, but you're at different phases in them where you're harvesting, removing, planting new seeds, adding fertilizer during all those. They're all happening at a different time. So whatever you started around January 28th, if you look at what was going on in your life, you can kind of see that during that time it was all about this conflict. All that full moon energy brings a lot of fire, and Leo is a fiery sign anyway, but it brings all this energy. So during that time frame, it's like the ego versus the heart, or fear versus love, confidence versus arrogance, self-esteem versus vanity. And so there's this energy that was around it, like, you have this beautiful confidence around you're the king or the queen of the jungle, and your self-pride battles against the emotions and the drive you have for your pride, for the pride, like the lion pride, the king or queen of the pride pack of lions. It's like your ego versus their needs of the pride of the whole of the group. And I know in the United States, that was such a huge energy that was going around along the beginning of the year, right? Everyone about what is important to me and screw the rest of the world and everything else. We go into defensive mode with all that energy and with all that conflict that's happening. Our fear ego goes into defense mode, or, into fight or flight. So it's either fleeing or fight and defend. And so that's a lot of the energy that we were going through in our life, no matter if it was physically, politically, racially, whatever it might have been. There's a lot going on, and then all that is like what was being reflected in our external world, but we have all this internal stuff that's going on too. And so that's all the stuff that, we come in with that energy. And this new moon is probably very relieving. You feel like, okay, things have been calming down month by month and month as I move up to here. And during those, 6 months, 5 or 6 month period here, we've been seeing what we've been ready to let go of. What is no longer serving us? What beliefs are no longer serving us that are causing conflict? Or the opposite is what relationships are no longer serving me and I'm ready to let go of. And so there's those things that have been happening as we go here. And this is that culmination of that energy that you're ready to let go of things. It's like that's the harvest period during that full moon in January. And everything you've been doing in the meantime is removing things out of the soil and the garden, and getting the fruits of your labor and the fruits of everything. And this new moon is the time where, all right, my garden bed is ready for new seeds to be planted. There've been plenty of manure that I've been putting into the ground to make it very fertile for new growth. And what am I ready to have grow now instead? And so this is the time where with this new moon is when you're planting those new seeds. So we're going to pull a card here from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. We're just going to see what the Creator wants you to know around this full moon energy. What are you ready to plant now? What did you let go of that they want you to, be aware of? So you can see like, oh, okay, let's see what I let go of. And what do you want to replace that with towards this next full moon? That'll be happening in February of next year, shortly after Valentine's Day. Yay. All right, Creator, what do you want our reader 3 to know? Okay. They knew what I was trying to say. I was trying to get it out, and they're like, just pull the card. Yep, peace, like we said. And this is card number 28. So yeah, definitely in a much different place than you were on January 28th. All that angst was extreme with that powerful, fiery energy there. And so now what you're ready for and what you prefer is now that you experience that extreme chaos and conflict, you're ready to plant seeds more for a peaceful life, to have peace filling you up and peace flowing out of you. And let's see what else the Creator wants you to know here. So this is the waning crescent 5. So it is kind of the new moon that is happening up here. And it says, peace of mind is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, right? It says, refuse drama and do not freely engage with people who use drama as a weapon. Stop fighting. Allow yourself to rest for a while. When we let what we no longer need go, we make room for peace. Yep, so everything we've just been talking about. An affirmation for this card is, I choose to create and hold peace. I allow this to ripple out into the world. It goes on to say, we are an anxious bunch, us modern folk. That's the truth. We are constantly stimulated or not stimulated enough. We find it hard to sleep. Insomnia is at a record levels in the Western world. And for some, we self-medicate with food, devices, drama, and work. We seek peace, but we don't know how to go about it particularly well. Peace can begin with a series of decisions we make. For example, we can decide we can't control everything. Shock, it says. That's great. What? I can't control everything? It says the ancient Greek Stoics had a great strategy here, advising a split of your issues into, I can control this, and I have no control over this. Think about the most pressing and worrying issues you have right now, or the situations that are giving you the most sleepless nights. Then break them down into pieces and place them under the correct heading. And be honest and discerning. What you will find is that most of your situations or issues are under the second ending. I have no control over this. The Stoics advise that the things listed there deserve no more of your attention because they're actually out of your control. Wow. However, the things under I can control this are important, and you must action these to the best of your abilities. These are those things you will influence and where you will glean the most change. While this seems a simple system, I promise you it will give you far less to worry about and instantly more peace. We can be more focused and mindful about what we are doing in real time. We can place ourselves deliberately in situations, in quiet, beautiful, and peaceful environments. We can learn what for us brings our body rest and peace. We can choose to not do the head miles of worry. Let's say head miles, like, all those miles that we run in our mind, worrying, especially running in circles, right? It says, worry is, after all, chewing gum for the mind, not really nutritious in any way, but something to do. When we let go of what we no longer really need, peace floods in, taking up this old space and healing it. Beautiful. And the companion stone or metal for that is amethyst, which, of course, is very beautiful. In fact, we'll go ahead and bring some amethyst energy in right now. Here and actually this here too. So this is all amethyst energy. Beautiful. I think that is absolutely great, and that just totally answers what we were dealing with here. So we're also going to pull some cards here. I'm going to pull from 3 different tarot decks representing different periods of time. The first one is going to be the first week before leading up to this full moon in the Lion's Gate, and that's going to be this week that's coming up. Here, what energies are coming in with you and what the Creator wants you to know about all that in that first week. This is I think I mentioned this is the Light Seers deck. Creator, what do you want those that chose reading number 3 to know about that first week, please? Okay. All right. Yeah, this makes sense here. So you got the Queen of Swords. So swords are all about our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitudes. And of course, so has her thoughts and beliefs that she's holding on to, but she's also looking out, contemplating new beliefs. So she's open to new things coming in. And the reason she's able to do that is she understands she's got the Ace of Cups down here, which represents the heart, the unconditional love, that we have inside our emotions. And she's able to understand and balance her thoughts and emotions, because the divine feminine energy comes in with the card here, which brings the emotions with the mind as well. So it's very much, the way she's mastered, understands, and is successful in life is because she understands that if you just go off and stick to your supposed to's and shoulds and all those thoughts and beliefs and expectations that are in your mind, usually doesn't fare well, as well as on the extreme, only reacting out of your emotions and not bringing in the logic and, that open mind, that doesn't fare well either. So it's either, all or nothing, and it's about bringing that beautiful balance in between, which is totally about this, new moon Leo energy, about the needs of the individual meshing with the needs of the whole, and understanding what is truly important to keep your own and keep boundaries, and what you're able to give in and give to the whole as well. So perfect in there. I got more amethyst here. We'll put that there. And this card is going to represent actually on August 8th, the day of the new moon, the day of the Lion's Gate. We're just going to see what the creator wants you to know about those energies that happen actually on that day, or what events happen on that day, whatever the creator wants you to know. We don't limit them, we let them know. All right, creator, what do you want pile number 3 to know about that actually August 8th day? Okay. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. Any others? Slide that one there. Okay. All right, so let's unravel these. Yep, so you have the Empress energy. So definitely the Empress energy, again, divine feminine, the mother nature, mother nurture. She's the feeling of the wilderness. She brings these living waters. You've got the star on top of there, which this is like the water bearer card, because the star in the major arcana represents Aquarius, which is the water bearer, who brings the living waters, the things that quench us. And so it's this pure nature, this pure freedom, new birth, and just those wonderful feelings there. She definitely is all about feeling the freedom, feeling, that would be a lot of the Ace of Cups energy, feeling this beautiful awareness, not feeling constricted. It's like all that emotion we feel as a child before we start being told, bad boy, bad girl, good boy, good girl, and all that conditioning we get about the supposed to's and shoulds and the restrictions that make us feel caged instead of running free on the hills. The hills are alive with the sound of music. It's that feeling of being free out there, or being encamped and encaged. And you got the 3 Empress, and you got the 3 of Wands. So the 3 is also about very much creativity. And the 3 of Wands is about, you're at a stage ready to go and take a leap. Like the 2 of Wands is about planning and getting from A to B, and then B to C, and then C to D, and D to E, and so the 3 of Wands is about, you got from A to B and you're ready to step into C. Literally, I always say the C is out here with this new adventure and this new step. So you have this new energy to go on to a new way, and to a new adventure. And so this freeing feeling, which definitely feels this way, because this is so constrictive. All this energy that you had back in January was so constrictive, and you just felt again so much fear, so much fight or flight, so much me versus them, that it was just afraid to be you. You were just protecting yourself. And now you're at this place where you can release that and go into this place of peace, and just go into this whole new place, this whole new energy. I love it. Yeah, 5 of Wands. So, we look at this as conflict, right? That's what we see when we're looking at it, going, look at everyone attacking me. But it's really about training. And so it's not that we're at war, it's that we were practicing fencing. So, it's like, I just had this Kung Fu movies pop into my head, they're always finding a master and learning, to hone their skills, and they do that by constant practice with others. And this is what this is all about, is this message of awareness of, what did I learn from these conflicts? What did I learn about myself, about how I feel about others in the world? What things, like this Queen of Swords is about questioning, your thoughts and what you're ready to let go of and what you're open your mind to. And so this is really understanding and a message of, just know that everything that happened in your life and will happen in your life is happening for you to help you understand and experience life, how to grow and understand more about yourself, and not just your human self that's walking here on the earth, but understanding more of who your higher self is. Because when you come down here, you experience all this thing as this human to more fully understand who you are as this higher being. There's like things that we realize when we're down here that we don't realize when we're up there. It's like here we walk around breathing oxygen. You don't even realize there's air, oxygen, unless the wind blows, or you underneath the water and you suddenly go, oh, air. I understand it and I appreciate it so much more. And that's this life. And those experiences that we have are like, okay, I see. Now that I've experienced love down here, I understand what love is on the other side. Conditional love down here, unconditional love there. Limited feeling here, unlimited feeling there. And you don't even realize we're limitless on the other side till we feel what limited feels like here. And the Four of Pentacles. So just, this knowing that you have what you need inside you, and that you have everything that you need in the moment, of course, because when you look inside, you have everything that you need, in this life. And there's this message too, but they have the city behind. You have enough for yourself, in fact, to give to others, but you don't have to look to that city to define what you need. You might be living out in a town, outside the city, and you see the city and you're like, wow, look everything they have. I want that. And you're like, do you really? When you look at what you really want in your life and what, again, questioning these thoughts about the shoulds and supposed to's and have to's and need to's, you realize how abundant you really are. And that you don't need all of that other stuff, and it really frees you from this conflict, because a lot of what causes this conflict in our fight or flight is we're afraid that something's going to be taken away from us that we need to live and survive. And it's questioning, what do you really need to live and survive? And what are all the thoughts and stories and beliefs you put around those things that you are afraid are going to be taken away from you? Yeah. Because then you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about, she's doing her work, she's seeing things grow, and it's a little bit about impatience and a message of, be patient, it takes times for things to grow, you always have what you need, just keep, whittling away along the way. There's always this Zen saying that comes to my mind when I get this card, which is, chop wood, carry water. It's like, do the next thing. Keep doing the things, and things will unfold. Just be in this moment. Do what's the very next thing. Do what's the very next thing. Do what's the very next thing. And don't worry about the entire world. Again, like this, I love what it said, in this card here about what's within your control and what's outside of your control. And one of the biggest things that I realized in my life is there's very little outside of me I'm able to control. Even the things I thought I was able to control, I had to move it from one bucket to another, right? Because I'm like, the thing that I only know for sure that is within my control is my choice on what something means to me. I get all these opinions on what it's supposed to be and should, but I get to decide. No matter what happens in my life, I get to decide what it means. Even no matter what the news says, or, family or friends, or, government, or whatever they say it means, I get to decide what it means. And in what I'm deciding, is it bringing me peace, or is it making me out of fear? Then I know, where that's coming from. Because if it's fearful, then it's because I'm afraid I'm losing something, and I'm out here in the supposed to's and shoulds. But when I'm in here, connected, to this higher place of where we really come from, right? Your higher self. I'm choosing love for me and for the world. I feel at peace because, I'm not afraid to lose things. I'm like, those are just things that can be taken. No one can, anyone can take anything from the outside world and include, ending my life. But they can't take away my soul. That's who I am. And people on the outside could tell me, you can't believe the way you believe, and if you do, we're going to kill you. Then I could be, they would never know. I'm like, okay, I will follow what you believe, and inside I'm still believing what I want to believe. There's nothing they can do to change that if I don't want it to, right? All right, and then finally, this was the Everyday Tarot. That was the Light Seers deck. This is the just standard Tarot the Rider-Waite deck. And this is going to represent the final 2 weeks. Just what, after this August 8th, with all this what the next 2 weeks brings you, and that takes you into the next full moon. So we'll see what the Creator wants you to know about the following 2 weeks. Right, for pile number 3, Creator, what did you want them to know about that final 2 weeks? Okay. I said not those, just that one. Okay, any others? Okay. And anything else? Okay. Switch these up a little bit. Yeah, this totally makes sense here. The first card that popped out was the Page of Swords. So, the swords are about the thoughts, the beliefs, got the Queen of Swords here. But the Page of Swords is about new thoughts, new beliefs, new attitudes. Oh, it's totally makes sense. This transformation that's happening here. And it also represents, the page is like child. And like I mentioned, the Empress, about your thoughts and beliefs of how the world should be and everything were so different when you were a child before all that limitations. And this is that renewed, anything's possible, and really everything I believe, you just kind of put it to the side and look at the world with fresh eyes, which totally brings in this King of Wands, which, talking about the king or queen of the jungle. This is like that imagery you can even see. It's got like jaguar stripes in here, so it's all about this energy of just awareness of what you focus on grows. He's the master of the energy. Wands also was like fiery energy, and so for me it represents spirit. And so for me this also has a special significance of connecting to your higher self and your higher awareness and that higher energy. And you can see here all the lions on his back of his throne as well, because it's very much fire Leo energy. And so all this energy that's coming in, it's about where you're focusing in it, because the knowledge of the King of Wands as well is whatever I focus on grows. And so if I focus on the chaos, it grows. If I focus on peace, it grows. If I focus on fear, it grows. If I focus on love, it grows. And so that is the mastery that comes through all this as well. Yep. And then you have the Seven of Swords. So it can mean many things for different people, but for me what this is like, these are all the swords that you're holding that you're questioning, right? And then here's the other swords that are outside of your thoughts, and you're like, well, should I take those on? And that is the power that you have, is like, you know what, do I want to take on more and then end up with a 9 of Swords, which is like the insomnia card and the almost exhaustion card, nightmare card. It's like, do I want to? And it's like, you can if you want. You get to experience that if you want, but you don't have to. You can leave those go and question what you're already carrying, but you don't have to carry more than you already are. And so this is a beautiful reflection of, look at what you're holding before you take on more, and really see if those things, those thoughts, those beliefs that are coming out there from the outside world, is that something you really want or not? And you get to decide. You get to have that choice. So last, I'm going to pull a card here from Sweet Dreams, or cards, depending on what pops out here, and just see what the final message the Creator has for those that chose reading number 3. What else for those that chose reading number 3, please? And any others. Okay, last pass. Okay, nope. Got the 2 here. So you've got let go. I am kind to myself and share my beauty with those around me. I let go of self-criticism. So put that there, and then purpose. My dreams connect me to my purpose. So yeah, definitely letting go of those things that no longer serve you, like we talked about, those emotions and those feelings and those things over these last 5 or 6 months. It's really looking into, what did I let go? How's that changed my life? And then purpose, as you're planting your new seeds for the future. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your contribution to the world be? Because that is what changes your whole attitude about what you're focusing your energy on. It's like, do I really want to be part of the chaos and adding more into the chaos? If you want to, hey, no judgment. It's like, we come here to experience feeling a victim, feeling like a villain, feeling like a hero, and whatever we feel is what we feel. And there's nothing wrong with any emotion we feel. Or do I want to expand and help grow love? And we can always fluctuate in between the two depending on what's going on too. But it's like, okay, what do I want to purpose to plant? I'm going to purposely plant with this energy, because it's amazing, beautiful energy, unlike any others. It's almost like your bed, garden bed that you're planting in has like Miracle Grow infused soil, that whatever you plant in there is going to grow fast and big. So just know, whatever you're planting during this new moon energy, do it with purpose, because it is going to bring whatever the fruits are into your life. So I do love this for you. If as you're going through all this, just know that every second of every day, and life in general, but especially during this 3-week period, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to make sure you get notified of the Lion's Gate individual zodiac readings I'm going to do, I'm also going to be doing the equinox fall readings that are going to come out in September. So if you don't want to miss those, just make sure to subscribe and click that little bell, and then you'll get notified when those come out. So I'm excited for those that are coming. There's a lot of beautiful energy coming for those readings already. So, just hang in there. Know that I love you, and we will talk to you soon. You take care now.